So, it's been 2 months now since 30-day fast ended. In a couple days. On the 25th, it'll be 2 months. I think it's 2 months, right? I started the fast May 25th. I ended it June 25th, July, August 25th. Yeah, 2 months. So, we're measuring the results. Essentially, I have not monitored what I'm eating, when I'm eating it. I still eat healthy, you know, like I've only gotten fast food like Taco Bell twice, 3 times in that time. I have had very limited sugar. I've eaten some cupcakes, you know, like, but it's not been a lot. I still don't drink like super sugary drinks. I started juice rather than like sparkling water, which has, I think, helped my acid reflux situation. But either way, I've not been avoiding any particular foods. I've not been trying to lose weight. I have been letting my body stabilize. I've been letting my body do what it wants to do in order to feel good. And I gained a decent amount of weight back immediately. But 1 week after my refeed, I had already reached this point. Like, it was like my body like absorbed all the nutrients and all the stuff that it possibly could, and then it stayed there. Like, if I compare my weight from 1 week after my refeed to what my weight is now, they're like 1 pound off from each other. I'm pretty sure it was 1 week. Yeah, I just wanted to double check my numbers because that sounds a little crazy to me, but I literally marked in my Libre app, which is my weight manager, what I use to like mark everything. 1 week after my refeed, I gained 20 pounds in 1 week. My body was just, but I have gained 1 pound since then. So literally, my body took what it needed immediately after the fast ended, and we stayed there. And I think that's very interesting because everything that I've read about like the 0 point in your body, your fat cells, is that they shrink down, and then your body's always fighting to get back up to what that weight was. But that's not what my body's done here. It did not fight to get back up to what my maximum was. It fought to get back to a healthy, comfortable zone, and then it stopped, which I find fascinating from a research standpoint. So I am... hair? There's a hair there. I am going to treat this next period much the same way. I think I'm going to take advantage of Libre app, and I'm still going to continue to use it for my weight check-ins and my body fat percentage and my muscle masses. But there's also ways to measure in there, like your specific number of inches around like your waist or your bicep, or like physiological changes like that. And I'm considering whether I should do that or not, maybe once a month. But I think Spirit, even though you are being guided to move in silence with all these changes you're making, I think Spirit wants me to document it. Once again. So, that's what we're going to do. I'm not sure how intense I'm going to do this, though. I know I'm going back up to a 6-day split. I know that I'm going to keep it light at first and get back in the rhythm of actually completing the exercises. I know that I'm probably going to continue doing daily weight checks until I have a solid idea of what my maintenance calories is while I'm exercising, because it's different, right? Your maintenance while you're exercising is going to be different than your maintenance while you're relatively sedentary. I wouldn't call myself sedentary, but like... there's active, and then there's like when I'm lifting 6 days a week. They're just different. So if this is a change you're making with me, whether it's diet, whether it's exercise, whatever it is, I'm being guided to guide you to track that shit. Take your measurements, weigh in. You don't have to do it every day. I do every day because I like to see the whoosh. Because you can see, if you look at the chart when I was doing my fast, even without food at all, without food for 30 days, your body was still going down, 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 up, down, down, down. And that's consistently how it went through the entire 30-day process. You can look at my weight points, my data points. So if you're fluctuating, you don't feel bad about that. That's literally something that's going to happen no matter what you're doing. That's just natural. So if you do weigh every day, don't get discouraged when that happens. Be like, okay, we've got down, and then we've got a whoosh up, and then whoo. And you know that every time you see it go up, it's going to follow with a massive decrease. And massive might be 2 pounds, you know what I mean? But like, it's progress. And a little by little, a little becomes a lot. It's going to be exactly what you need in the long run. And part of me, this entire last 2-month period, because I didn't want to be looking at my weight. I knew that if my body was going to stabilize, if I was going to feel normal and feel healthy and feel like I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, I needed to not look at the scale during that time. Otherwise, I was going to hyperfixate on these changes. And I'm glad I didn't, because now I can see that without effort, I kept most of my results without trying. And, you know, I wasn't like avoiding desserts, but I also wasn't like being unreasonable about any of it. And my muscle mass percentage is still higher than it ever was before. And I didn't do any lifting during that period, which is super interesting to me. This is fascinating and super exciting. But this might be the final bit of motivation, final bit of like juice in the tank that we need to continue on to the next leg of this journey, which is, what's the right word here? This isn't just a weight loss journey. You know what I mean? This is a physique journey. This is getting your body how to look, how you want it to look, without developing some kind of dysmorphia or unhealthy situations mentally or physically. It's going to be really interesting to see if I can pull this off in a way that's balanced and healthy and normal. Maybe not normal, because balanced and healthy isn't normal. But don't go around shouting all your life changes to everybody. And maybe my version of Move in Silence here is to talk about it here with you guys, and not to go talking about it with everybody else in my life. My sister, I won't be able to avoid. You know, she's part of my day-to-day too much that I'm not going to be able to like move in silence with her. But we kind of feed off each other's energy in that way too. When one person is like motivated and like let's fucking go, and like doing their weigh-ins and taking care of themselves and making sure that they're like eating well enough, the other person's like, I'm doing that too. It's almost like accountability buddies, but like not really. Like, we don't depend on each other for that. One person decides I'm doing this right now for me, and the other person's like, yeah, me too. So it kind of works out. But I'm not going to run around telling everybody else in my life what I'm doing or how my progress is going. If somebody were to ask me what's going on in my life, I would probably tell them about all my new plants. I would probably tell them that I'm taking a gaming hiatus, which I am doing. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but I'm going to quit gaming for a while at least. Maybe not forever. But, you know, when I was doing my 6-day split, I would get off of work, and I would come home, and I would work out, and I would eat dinner, and I would scroll for a little bit, and I would go to bed. And that was pretty balanced. I was getting everything I needed done every day, and I felt fine. I felt great even. And the challenge here is going to be fitting in education also. Because my weekends, which is my weekends is like Monday, Tuesday. Those are the days that I have free. I'm supposed to spend some time today studying for that exam. And I think I'm still going to do that. I'm still going to study for that. I need to block off some time for it and make sure that I'm enjoying myself at some point today, so it's not just stress, work, move. But days that I'm not lifting heavy objects, it should be easy to sit there and study. It's a rest day. Why wouldn't it be a thing? And I almost feel like it's got to be okay that I'm not going to have a do-nothing day. Because a day off used to be a do-nothing day, right? And we're not doing that anymore. That's not something we need to include in our lives. You don't need a do-nothing day. You need a day where you physically rest in one area while you get productive in another. And sometimes fun is the productivity that you need. That's still not a do-nothing day.